Hi everyone, in this video I will be showing you how you can make a shaped start and a shaped end for your alpha keychains. First of all, you want to start out by picking a pattern. I have chosen this pattern, the snowflake, to make, and the next step is that you are going to take your hook and that you are going to cut your base strings. Now for this technique we are going to fold our base strings. That means that you only need the amount of base strings divided by 2. So I have 11 of them. Since this pattern has an uneven number, I am choosing to add an extra string so that I can still use this technique. And what you then want to do, first of all, you want to tape your keychain hook down, and then you want to start off by making lark's knots. And to do that, you are going to fold your base string in half, and you are going to take the loop and you are going to pull it through your keychain, and then you are going to tie your lark's knot. And the whole thing behind this technique is that on your keychain there will only be room for a certain amount of base strings. So for me, I think that is 12, so 6 of these knots. And with this technique you can make wider patterns than your keychain can take base strings. As you can see, I have 6 lark's knot. This is what fits on my keychain hook without cramming it, and I still have a couple of base strings left that I do need to use to make this pattern work. So I'm just gonna count real quick. I have 5 of them left. It's not the best to have an uneven number left, but it will work eventually. So I am going to put these two together, and I am just going to take them and put them through my keychain hook and make sure that the ends are coming together like this, and make sure that this is outside all of your knots. Then you are going to do the same thing with the other base strings. In this case, there are three base strings, and you will do the same thing. Next on, you are going to take your white string. In this case, I am going to use this Elite Forever Simile. It's the white one with sparkles. And for the blue in this keychain, I am going to use this blue color changing thread of Yarn Art Violet. And the link where I get all of my thread, the shop where I get all of my thread, will be linked down below. Now that you've tied all of your lark's knots and you have put your base strings through, so I have put 3 base strings, which makes a total of 6 base strings on my left side, and 2, which makes a total of 4 base strings on my right side. And from now on, I'm going to call them the pockets of base strings to refer to in my video, because I don't know if there is already an official term for it. If you have a keychain with a even amount of base strings, you would just start to knot on your first pocket of base strings, knot your first row, knot on your second pocket of base strings, and then you would just drop off a string like you do while making a triangle start for your alphas. But because I have an uneven number of base strings and I want my snowflake to be centered, I am going to take one string of this pocket of bass strings and put it with, and count it in as a bass string with the lark's head knot. So, and I am going to take one of these and put him with this side. And you might think, oh, what would I do? Well, now I have both of my pockets of bass strings have 5 strings, which means that my snowflake will start in the center, because I can count off 5 bass strings in my pattern on either sides of the snowflake, instead of 6 on one side and 4 on the other side. So let's start knotting the first row. First, you're going to tape down your bass string. I'm going to use this Alice Forever Simile for my white background, and I am going to use this Yarn Art Violet multicolor string for the snowflake itself. So to start off, you are going to knot on top of your pocket of strings. So keep in mind, you take out one string so that you have 5 over here. And you really want to make sure that it is at the end of your keychain. And then you are going to take out you're going to knot on top of your other string. I'm just going to tape it down because it won't stay put. And from there you are just going to knot your first row. And your first row might look a little bit messy because of start, but that just takes practice. Mine also don't look neat, always look neat. So I have almost completed my first row, and I am now at my second pocket of bass string and my one lark's head string, which I am going to add into it. And you are going to make a forward backward knot, if I'm completely correct. I don't really use those terms. And now you are going to look at your pattern. So what you are going to do is you are going to look at your second row, and you gotta remember that you are going to add one string on from either side of your pockets to your total amount of bass strings. And from there on, that means that you can have on both your pockets you have 4 bass strings, which means that you can drop out. You don't have to count to the first 4 knots from the right side and the left side into the ones you're actually knotting, because you aren't going to knot them yet. You are going to expand it outwards. So that would mean that I have to do 6 white knots, and then I'm going to implement this one, and then I would have to do 6 white knots on the other side. So let's do that. And what I mean by dropping off a string is that you have your pocket of strings, you are going to take out one, and you are going to make a forward backward knot with this one, and then your first knot will be on top of the string you have just dropped out of your pockets of bass strings. I just gotta count real quick to know if I need to count this one in as my first knot. If you have knotted your second row and you have come to your pocket of strings again, you are going to take out one string again and make a knot on top of it. And then you are going to make a backward forward knot on top of your pocket of strings, and then you're going to make one again, leaving out another string. And from here on you are just going to follow your pattern, and I am going to make a quick time lapse of my process, and then I will explain to you how you can also end your strings again, and all of your, how do you call it, end your keychain in a circle like shape. So right now I have just finished row 15, and from now on I am going to start to make the half circle shape again at the bottom, and I'm going to explain it because it's not really that difficult, and you actually use the same technique that you use when you are making a triangle and for your alpha. So right now I have made one forward backward knot, completing row 15, and now I am going to start row 16. So I have this string and I am going to add one string, and then I am going to make a forward backward knot on those two, and then just knot my row. So right now I've knotted row 16 almost completely, and over here you can see my two strings that are on the left side, and these are actually two strings because this pattern has 21 bass strings, but I did 22 so I could use the lock side knot. So that's why you have already two over here, and you are gonna keep these three strings together. You are gonna make a backward forward knot on top of them, and then you are going to take this string again and make a backward forward knot on top of them, and you continue this way until you've finished your keychain. This is what my finished keychain looks like, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and possibly share it with your friends and family.